Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to another fantastic little Hallyujuku talks. This time we're gonna review an album. We're gonna review a random find at a con again. Once again, we're finally getting around to the album we picked out at ACEN. What album are we talking about?
Well, that almost makes it seem like it was bad because of how long it took us to get to it.
We're just lazy.
But I think it's just, yeah.
There's
lazy. That, and it's just, there was a lot of stuff that happened since we came back. There's a lot of Big Bang stuff, a lot of EXO stuff, EXO. So there was a lot of that stuff that happened. So it kept taking longer and longer to get to it.
Yeah.
But we are reviewing Unique's. Would it be Unique, or is it just Unique?
Unique.
You just say Unique.
Unique.
Right.
EOEO.
We're talking about their first mini album. Well, Petey goes to go grab it. We're talking about their first mini album, EOEO. It came out this year, actually. It came out earlier this year in February. So a little bit of a backstory about Unique. They are a 5-member cross Chinese and South Korean group formed
3 Chinese members, 2 Korean members.
Yeah.
Kind of bridging the gap a bit. Kind of like a little more concentrated version of what, the SM did with XOK and XOM. But a little bit more just concentrated in one group. But yeah.
So now this is their first official mini album. They had a debut thing last year. I think it was only just the one song though.
Yeah, just a couple of songs.
All right, hold on.
They've been releasing songs. A couple of, I think, basically everything.
No. So last year they did 2 songs that are on this album that we're going to talk about. So Born to Fight and Falling in Love, which was which was on the original soundtrack for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Born to Fight, the last song was on the soundtrack for the Chinese version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
the recent release, and we'll get to that. But yeah, we grabbed this kind of randomly because it was something
what we do.
Something that I know I had heard of, but I hadn't heard, and I kept hearing about. Kaz, had you heard of Unique before this?
I've heard the name, and I'm pretty sure I've seen a video from them before, but I never really paid attention to them because it was like they didn't really stand out. But that's probably because they were super brand new, and like this is now, and I think this is now when we're gonna start to see and hear more of them in this year and next year, but.
Yeah, it was formed. It was formed partially with some help from YG, I believe. I know that there was some guidance and some help involved with YG. Yes. But this is purely from a company called EOEO Music.
It's a Chinese company.
EOEO Music.
Which is why there are predominantly more Chinese members than there are Korean members.
I mean, it's an odd number of members, and 3-2 is a tie for an odd number. But it's fun because you get to see if they're thank yous. You get to see the different languages.
Nice.
The 2 Koreans did it in Korean, and the 3 Chinese members did it in Chinese, which is cool. But yeah, this is we kind of grabbed it thinking, it's like, all right, let's see what this is all about. When you finally pressed play, what was your first impression, Kaz?
All right, so first impression, the first song that comes on is EOEO. God damn it, I hit a button I didn't mean to hit. So that's the first song you hear is EOEO. It is a good first track.
Yeah.
It lets you into a very high-paced kind of really upbeat song. And you just kind of start like I instantly just started jamming to this song before I even understood the rhythm or any of the words or anything that was going on. It was just so what I like from like Korean boy group music.
Yeah, it was a really cool beat. Like it was a really cool sound, a really cool beat. And I think it was probably, if I was gonna spoiler, probably my favorite song on the record.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a good way to start the album, start us going. It had a good energy to it. It had a good feel to it. Yeah. And I almost forgot I was going to put up some of the music video, and you kind of check, because they have, this is their most recent release, and then this album kind of encompasses their most recent and then adds the previous releases. And you can kind of get the idea that this is, it's a very hip hop influence. It's kind of heavy on the raps.
Yeah.
Yo dog, I heard you like raps, so I put raps in your raps. Shout out to Soul Veggies. But yeah, it's a really cool style. It's a really cool song. Like it can be a little, there are some moments, especially in the video, that are a little YOLO swaggy. But overall I think it's a cool song and like video. And then it's followed up with a complete change of pace with a ballad.
Yeah.
With a ballad.
That is definitely a change of pace. And usually for me, going from really high pace to soft, it tends to sometimes kind of put me off, but it was okay here. Yeah. Love Again is not a bad song for the second song coming in. You got your guitar strum and then you go into it. And it's still kind of upbeat, though. Mm-hmm. It hits this point where it gets really upbeat, and I think that's what makes it okay for something that's kind of ballad-ish, but they kept it really, really, really high tempo.
Yeah, and there's still, the rapping, the ballad rapping.
Yeah. So they legitimately could have went with the strummy guitar, like kind of mono, like or muted a little bit. Like I don't know what the word for it is. This isn't Record Breakers. I don't have to be that fucking specific. But they could have just kind of gone with the kind of quiet guitar and have all the guys come up. Like I'm thinking of it in that stage performance way where like one guy at a time comes up and does his part and does a little dance and then does the little lip bite or the lip wipe or something like that, and the girls go, oh. But no, they kept it really upbeat and made it fun. And I think that's kind of, if that's gonna be their style and that's what they're going to continue to do, then I'm all in for it, man.
Mm-hmm. They didn't go full Boys to Men, in other words.
Yeah.
But you know what? It worked well. It had a really good like upbeat feel to it and upbeat sound to it. And then I don't know. And there was a couple more songs. I don't know. Outside of the.
So let's say, all right. So you got Listen to Me, Falling in Love, and Born to Fight. Listen to Me is the definite like house trance, kind of they want that to be played in the European clubs track. Like it's always fun where you can hear the song that is going to be released in a different market, but that's because those are all the songs that they worked on to kind of find a pacing. All those songs are going to get lumped together, and that's what you kind of get here. Mm-hmm. Is you get these kind of different styles. One, because they want to see how popular they're going to be in different markets, so they're going to make something that they know is going to kind of be up, going to kind of grab those other markets. Like that first song is definitely meant to grab the Americans, I think. Yeah. That first song on that track.
The Americans and the Koreans, I think. Like your standard audience, mostly just in Asia, because nobody actually is going to try to go after America. It's a losing cause. But
well, the Americans who listen to K-pop is what I'm saying. Right?
And then mostly
that's I think kind of the very popular structure of boy band music that is generally pretty popular. It's that and probably Love. Those are ones that are meant for the Asian market and for the Americans who already listen to K-pop. Yeah, like, where then you get to Listen to Me. That's very European.
Yeah, I think and that one, and I'm remembering it. That one if I would say that one is close as my second favorite. I would say. It has a really cool sound to it. And then
all right, so then you got Falling in Love, which is
the 21 song.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's the there's a group that specifically does this kind of lovey song with these like, you know, up tempo thing, and I can't think of who it is at the moment.
Maybe 2 a.m.
Yeah, it might be. It might be 2 a.m. Somebody like that, but that's probably the weakest song on here for me. And then you got the last one, which it is the one me and Petey keep giggling about, which is Born to Fight. Which the fun thing about Born to Fight is,
which I think we've talked about before. I don't know.
We might have, we might have.
Like, what's this shit?
A song for the soundtrack to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when it got released in China.
Yeah.
And it's so 90s.
Yeah. Like it's so like
or what usually Koreans do for 90s hip hop.
Yeah, like it's like
very Beastie Boys.
It's very, you know, it's like what they decided, hey, let's do our own partners in rhyme. Let's do our own turtle power or ninja rap. You know, like like it's just that, and it's a song for a soundtrack, but it's kind of stupid.
But the other funny thing is it's mostly in English.
Yeah, it's mostly or entirely in English.
And I found that really funny. Because it has that other problem that we always talk about when it's not YG. Where you're like, what? I'm sorry, what? Like,
yeah, like I've got the lyrics down here. Let me look them up. Yeah, they're entirely in English. I can tell you. Yeah, like look at that, just entirely in English. Like,
yep. But there's definitely just like what I just did, there's definitely some mispronunciations in there, and then I mean I'm not gonna harp on them for that. We've made jokes about it in the past, and it's always kind of funny.
You of all people shouldn't criticize anybody's mispronunciations.
Hey, look, what do you want? But yeah, no. It's a pretty strong mini album. I will say that it's a pretty strong debut mini album. I did enjoy a lot of it.
Yeah. It was. Overall,
it was surprisingly good.
Yeah, it was. There was some good parts. I mean, for me, I think I've said this before. For me, it takes something really special. So it takes a lot for me to really get into boy groups. Just because, in general, I mean, musically, and there's actual like music theory facts and reasons for it, but boy groups are music for boy groups is a little more boring than girl group music, because for the music they don't have to try as hard as for the girl groups. They just have to have the quality dancing and the pretty boys. And there's actual music theory, and it goes into it. I think that in one of the K-Popalypse's articles, I believe when it was like best of, when he mentions Shiny, he goes into it and he mentions the actual music theory behind it. And yeah, for a boy group to catch my attention, it takes a bit. Like I was looking at my personal, because I have a K-pop playlist on Spotify and then a PD's K-pop playlist on Spotify. The K-pop thing has everything K-pop, and the PD's K-pop has just like the ones I actually like to jam to, especially like in the morning. And there was only two boy groups in that, EXO and Shiny. So when it comes to boy groups, I'm kind of SM biased, because there's just a little bit more quality, specifically in Shiny, and EXO just has like really fun, catchy songs, but specifically in Shiny, because there's a little bit more, especially going on musically in many of the Shiny songs, especially the last couple of releases, like especially View and that Odd album. So for a boy group to catch my attention, there's a lot. I think this one, I don't know if I'm gonna be like jamming to this on a constant basis. I don't know if I'm going to be adding it to my Spotify playlist, mainly because I don't think it's on Spotify yet, the Korean version. I think the Chinese version is on there, so which might count. But it definitely I definitely enjoyed several parts of this, especially the first song, especially EOEO, especially Listen to Me. I enjoyed laughing at Born to Fight. And overall, and it's a quality for the Uniq fans. It's a quality, physical release, and it's a quality keepsake, which I haven't gotten into. It has a lot of, just kind of there's nothing super unique about it. It's a CD and it's a photo book, but I was avoiding trying to do that.
Did you? Okay.
No pun intended.
I was like, is he just gonna fucking roll through that?
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's kind of your standard. It's a CD and it's the photo book, but it's a good photo book. It's got some good pictures. It's got some really nice photography going on in there, and it's done pretty well. So I think overall, if you're a Uniq fan, this is a quality keepsake. Buy that physical copy. That makes you a true fan.
Yeah.
And that actually makes them money. So if you want to support the group, don't buy multiples though. That's just feeding into dumb things. Just buy one, and you're doing a good job. Or maybe buy some for your friends. That
gotta have them friends, yo.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, well, and pretty much you said overall you liked it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at all the songs, and I think overall I enjoyed it, except for maybe Falling in Love. I even kind of liked the Ninja Turtle one because it was okay. It wasn't. It's bad, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
that's for sure. I think overall we enjoyed it. There was a lot to like, and hopefully good things to come from a young upstart group. Uniq. So yeah, that's it for us. Be sure to catch our proper episodes here on our YouTube page. Subscribe right up there, over in that corner, to watch this and our actual proper Hallyujuku episodes. But that's it. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye. It's over. Go home.